backing up right behind him. Kids are doing nicely. I hope I'm taping this. Let me make sure. Yep, tape is moving along nicely. There's Marcia Schwartz and her gang of guys. Dale and Cindy, and whoa, Tommy's doing push-ups. He's getting big muscles from eating all those McDonald's and French fries and milkshakes. Dale's got his arm in a sling. Was this before or after the bar mitzvah? Dale had a bar mitzvah at the Wailing Wall in Israel, Jerusalem. Caryn's got her Pepsi-Cola t-shirt on, and she's blossoming very nicely there. Cindy taking a look. Tommy, what a guy. Hi, Margie, waving her hamburger. Nice, good manners. Sweetheart. I probably said, don't talk with your mouth full. Look at Michael shoving food in his face. Close your mouth, Tommy. Caryn's profile. I think she's a Frank. And there's the family group in the living room now, on our little coffee table. I don't know what Marcia's doing. They're showing off her toes or feet or something. Savah doesn't even want to sniff them. Get away from me. What an incident we had with Marcia in Tokyo, 1985 or 86. Her crazy husband. Yes, Caryn, you look lovely, lovely. There's Mr. Schwartz with his beer bottle. Arthur. Let's see, it's Art and Marcia and Dale and Cindy and Jeffrey. And there was a cousin Linda who joined him on this tour to Paris with Europe with Adrie for 3 weeks. And there's Michael playing his guitar as Dale. No, that's Cindy blowing the shofar. There's Dale blowing the shofar now. He must have already had his bar mitzvah. I guess they came back. He must have sprained his wrist somewhere on the way. And everybody's trying to listen to Michael play the guitar. And Dale must have been accompanying him. Woman, when you reach the age, you sure do funny things. You sure act strange. I learned my lesson. I learned it well. Woman, 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 woman. There was Michael's hat on one of the... Let me back up for that. Take a quick view of right on the mirror on the mantle as I go by. Mike's hat was on one of the statuary we had around this apartment with beautiful French antiques. French antiques everywhere. See that French hat? That was a French policeman's hat, I think, or military hat. There's our little balcony. That's the spitting balcony that Caryn used so effectively. And there's the Ritz Hotel right next to the, what's in Place Vendôme. The Schwartzes had to go visit their bank card location, and the Ritz Hotel was right next to IBM France headquarters, facing the famous Vendôme pillar, which you're looking at there, which is made from the thousands of melted cannons of the enemies of Napoleon that he conquered, or his armies conquered, as he crossed, defeated by the Russians on the Western Front. Arthur taking a pensive look around France, seen by the Seine, I think we were. There's the cousin. Oh, we took a ride up to Chantilly. This is the Chantilly lace. Chantilly Castle Museum, famous for Chantilly lace. And on our way to the cathedral at Beauvais. I ought to look up the Michelin guide here for descriptions. You can do that, Adrie, and send me some soundtrack stuff, and I'll add it to the soundtrack when I re-edit these. I'm putting these movies on videotape now, and then I'll edit the videotape to make a much more interesting scene in my retirement years in Atlanta in about 10 years when I retire at 65, if I make it that long. And this is the cathedral at Beauvais. Very beautiful cathedral. This was the only time we went there was with the Schwartzes, so we began to take the opportunity when the visitors were coming in to go to places we had never been before, rather than take them back to the same places we had been many, many times before. Come on now, what is that seafood meal called? Something, oh gosh, it'll come to me. Now we're in Bremerhaven. There's the Bremerhaven Bank. Bremerhaven was the city, the famous city with the four symbols in the town square. The symbols, I think, were the dog. No, what was it now? It was a dog. It was a donkey on top of a. No, the donkey was on the bottom. So the dog was on the donkey, and the cat was on the dog, and a rooster was on the cat. Rooster on a cat, on a dog, on a donkey, I think is the sequence of the town symbol. Losing my voice here. I'll go get a cup of coffee after this real segment. There they are, the donkey on the dog, and the cat and the rooster on the cat. There's the famous town Rathskeller of Bremen. Beautiful old city in central Germany. And this is their Marktplatz area. They've done a nice job. That must be Caryn by the gate of the town square there, in her red coat. This is the Rathaus, I believe, famous roof. The movies show a better view of this than the videotape is capturing. I may have to retape these movies later on to get the colors, because the high 8 resolution, the next camera I'll get when I get back to the States and set up my semi-professional editing equipment, has a much better resolution than the my video camera, which is now 85. It's now 6 going on 7 years old, which is about as long as the technology lasts. Well, they came out with high 8 a couple years ago, so it's time. Tommy has super VHS technology, which is, and there is Roland, the famous character. Windmill. Oh, this is Pierrefond, the fabulous Pierrefond Castle, having a picnic outside. Margie and Caryn, Tommy, Adrie, and Michael. Tommy's got his shirt off. Margie's going topless. Oh my goodness. Okay, Caryn, your turn. Caryn says, no way. Look at that fairy tale-like castle of Pierrefond. This is north of Paris, north of the city, due north, a little bit past the Charles de Gaulle airport, the new airport that was opened up while we were living in Paris. They've been building that thing for about 10 years. And we discovered this castle. We came back here a couple times. Really beautiful, so different than the typical French structure. This is almost ancient in its architecture. Truly magnificent white marble castle fortress near the forest of Compiègne. There's the kids up on top. Caryn Sue, a big 10. That's when she was 10 years old. She's now close to 13 in these movies. Beautifully blossoming young lady. We're going through the moat area where the drawbridge was now. That was to the left of this tower. This is probably the prisoner's tower. Adrie looking at some of the inscriptions before we march through all of these archways. Is that Tommy's in the mouth of the dragon? That was a gargoyle water spout. Tommy had his head up the gargoyle's spout area. And this is the courtyard, beautiful courtyard of Pierrefond. Special dragon marble sculptured water drains everywhere, gargoyles. Quite a structure. Would suggest if you're ever touring Paris that you take your family up to Pierrefond for a day. It's very different. You get into the suburbs of Paris. It's about 100 miles probably north of town. maybe 100 kilometers. There's Tommy sticking his head up another gargoyle's mouth.